Hi, Facebook group. Okay, so I'm going to be really honest, a rather tired Emily here, with some rather funky hair. Um, and I'm going to be unashamedly human about both of those things. Also coming live from my laptop, which is not my preferred method because everything is kind of reversed. So when I think I want to tuck back this bit of hair, I'm actually touching this bit of my face. So normally I come live from my phone, but today I'm coming live from my laptop. Doesn't mean anything to you, means something to me. Stop talking. I told you I was tired. Disclaimer, shit hair, and I'm tired. So a couple of people are online, which is really lovely considering that it is 10 to 10 in the evening here in Melbourne. So if you are online with me, please send me some love hearts, send me some love. Let me know that I'm not all by myself. Here we are. Awesome. Josie, thank you so much for joining me. I was just worrying then that I was going to have to do this on my phone and my laptop just to see people are online with me, which is awesome. So it is late, and all of the love hearts make me feel better. Thank you so much. Long time no see. Yeah, right? Like 3 seconds ago. Hi, Josie. Hi, Katie. Thank you for joining me. Anyone else who's jumping on, let me know that you're here. So I wanted to live in this evening to talk or to respond to a post which was probably a week or so ago actually, about what responsibility is and what does it mean to take responsibility for life. What does that mean? Can I unpack that a little bit more? But also, what is the moral compass? And how do you live by your moral compass and do it comfortably and do it with integrity? So let me start with this idea of responsibility. Here's the reality, right? This is the way I live my life. I take full fucking responsibility for absolutely everything in my life. Now, I didn't used to. I didn't take any responsibility for anything. I used to feel like life was doing me. Like I was at the ebb and flow of the tide of life, and I didn't have the tenacity or the understanding or the ability to create my own reality. I felt like life just fucking happened to me. Other people did stuff to me. Other people made me feel a certain way. And what I worked out from hanging out with lots of people who seem to be creating lives themselves, which I couldn't seem to create, when I started studying what they were doing and looking at what they were doing, what I realized was they were taking full fucking responsibility. Now, let me be really fucking clear. There is a huge difference between taking responsibility and taking blame. Massively different. So when I talk about taking responsibility, what I mean is I take responsibility for how I rock up. I take responsibility for how I react. I take responsibility for the action and the non-action that I take. So I refuse, and I didn't used to do this. I used to sit in the indignant attitude of, oh my God, it's really not fair. Like, life's not working out the way I thought it was going to work out. Life's not happening to me the way I thought life should happen to me. And it's not fair that I'm not being given the opportunity of the person next to me. That's how I used to rock up at life. Then I worked out what responsibility is and how I can take it and how I can have control and power in that responsibility. So what I realized was that the moment that I take responsibility for my actions and my non-actions, I am then in complete control of my reality. So when I decide, and it's a decision, to not take action, I have to be responsible for the consequence of that. When I allow my inner monologue or my ego to take control and to bombard me with excuses, and then I procrastinate or I allow other people's actions or other people's opinions to influence me, and therefore I don't take action, I don't get to sit in that space of blaming other people for my non-action. That is my responsibility. Equally, my action is my responsibility. Whether or not that is resourceful or non-resourceful, whether it's bitchy or not bitchy, whether it gets me the outcome I wanted or doesn't get me the outcome I wanted, it is still my responsibility. How I rock up in this world is 110% my responsibility. What you do is your responsibility. What you do and how I allow that to affect me, what you do is not my responsibility. That's your responsibility. Boom. But how I allow that to affect me and my reality, how I choose to respond and not react, how I choose to respond. Because reaction is, you did this, boom, I'm gonna react in this way. It's responsibility. How I choose to respond to you, that's my responsibility. And so as a result of that, what you do doesn't affect me. It can affect how I respond, absolutely. And that will affect my reality, but my response is still my fucking choice. And therefore, the reality that I create for myself is still my fucking choice, and that's where my power lies. So let's take a real personal example of mine. I'm just going to be fucking, I'm so tired, I can't do anything but be really fucking transparent and translucent right now. When my partner left me at the end of 2017, and it transpired that she left me for one of my best friends, my chosen response to that situation was not, oh my God, you really screwed me over. Oh my God, I'm going to be a victim. Oh my God, oh my God. And don't get me wrong, I had 1,000,001 people who were giving me the space to be that person. I had 1,000,001 people who would have allowed me to sit in that pain and sit in that anger and sit in that resentment and sit in that, oh my God, this is fucking awful. You should fucking expose this person. This is, you should go and tell her exactly. I had all of those people around me who were willing to allow me and to give me the space to react in that way. Was that going to create the reality for myself that I wanted? No. That was just going to entrench this victimhood mentality. Now, don't get me wrong, I have a couple of very, very close friends that I can be the worst bits of me in front of, that I can project and vomit up and disclose the most painful parts of me too. And I did, because I think it's important to feel the feels. I think it's important that you have people around you, whether they be friends or whether they be a coach or whether they be like a group of people, it doesn't matter, your parents, whatever, but choose those people wisely. Don't just go fucking blurting your fucking dirty laundry and your shit to absolutely anybody, because that is reaction. That's not response. So how do you take responsibility? I take full responsibility for the breakdown of my relationship. I'm not blaming myself for the breakdown of my relationship, completely different story, but I will take full responsibility for what I manifest in, and I will go back and I will look at that and I will say, okay, well, what was I thinking about my own self-value? What was I vibrating on an energetic level that created that circumstance in my life? And how can I, from here on in, see that, learn from that, and choose to respond to that so that I can create the reality for myself that I want to create. Massive difference between that and taking responsibility for other people's shit. I'm not going to take responsibility for your shit. I only take responsibility for mine, but I take full fucking responsibility for my shit. I take full responsibility for my thoughts, for my beliefs, for my actions, for my non-actions. Every single second of the day. Because the moment that I allow you to take responsibility for some of the shitter bits of my life, I also have to give you the responsibility for the great bits of my life. And fuck you, I'm not giving you that. The great bits of my life are great, and I create them, and I make them. And as a result, I also have to take full fucking frontal the other bits of my life that maybe don't always go to plan. And how I choose to respond to the bits of my life that don't go to plan, that will create my reality. And I take full responsibility for that. So that is what I think responsibility is. It's really empowering, Katie. It's so empowering. And you can't control other people, but you can always choose how you respond to other people. And that's what responsibility is. That is how you rock up in this world and go, this is who I am and this is the reality I'm choosing to create for myself, regardless as to the moving shapes and pieces that and the curveballs that the universe throws my way. Like, all right, this has happened. What am I going to make this mean? What lesson am I going to choose to pull from it? Because I can choose the lesson of victimhood. I can choose the lesson that life is not fair, right? I get that. I can choose that this person screwed me over. Or I can choose to say, all right, where was my vibration? Where was my fear and how did that manifest itself? What can I do to realign my vibration with that? What can I do to realign my thinking around that? What can I look back at and go, all right, oh, maybe there were some warning signs there that I didn't pick up on. And that's okay. I'm not going to judge myself for it because where's the fucking point? But what would I do differently next time? And where is the lesson in this? And how can I grow and be stronger and take full fucking responsibility for how I'm going to rock up in the wake of this? And, you know, it's about control and it's about power. And I'm not giving my control and power to anybody. That's mine. You can choose to execute your life the way you're going to execute your life. And yes, that's going to have some impact in my life. But ultimately, my responsibility lies with how I'm going to react to that. And my reaction, that's my power every time. So for me, that's what responsibility is. Responsibility isn't blame. Let me be really, really, really clear about that. Because blame is different, right? Blame is saying, oh, you left me because I'm a terrible person. Like, fuck that. No, unless you really are a dickhead, in which case fucking check yourself, right? I know, because I practice self-love and I practice every single day my self-esteem, my self-confidence. I continually work on that. It's the most important. My relationship with myself is the most important relationship I will ever fucking have. And no one's taking that away from me. And because I have those self-love practices in place and because I work on them daily, day in, day out, I have the strength when somebody else does something that doesn't align with my values, or it curveballs me, or it slaps me around the face, or it rips out my heart for a while there, I can still, at the end of it, turn around and go, all right, that happened. How do I choose to respond to this? And how do I take responsibility? How can I look back at that and go, oh, actually, okay, yeah, maybe I did, in a weird, fucked up way, manifest that. I'm not blaming or taking on the responsibility of somebody else's actions, but I will always take on the responsibility for how I react to another person. So I trust that that has answered that bit of the question. The second bit of the question is this: what's your moral compass? And they kind of go hand in hand. My moral compass is, am I living to my values? Am I rocking up as the best version of me? Not every second of every day. I'm not going to lie about it. I'm drinking a glass of wine right now. I've just had a really long, massive, huge day. I did 3 back-to-back one-on-one coaching sessions followed by a 90-minute webinar where I gave all of myself, and now I'm doing this live because my responsibility, what I consider to be responsibilities, I promised you guys I would do a live this evening. So here I am doing a live this evening. Now, that for me is my moral compass. That for me is when you promise to do something, when you promise to deliver something, if you're doing it with integrity and if you're doing it for the greater good and it's not going to damage you, it's not going to damage me to do this live this evening at all. Am I tired? Yeah. Would I rather have my face in a pillow? Kind of. But I've also got another good hour's worth of work in front of me. So I'm going to rock up and I'm going to fucking do this because it's my integrity. That is my moral compass. So if something feels good, if you feel like, if I went to sleep right now and was just like, oh no, I'm not going to post the resources into my online program that I promised that I would post, and I'm not going to respond to that client even though I said I would respond to them tonight, and I'm not going to do the live, that goes completely against my moral compass. So, and I would go to bed tonight and I wouldn't feel good about it. So you really need to start tapping into some of the feelings that you have. How are you going to feel about yourself? And this is how, ironically, it loops back, right? Because everything's a fucking loop in this world. This is how it loops back to responsibility. I don't have responsibility to anyone but me, but this is my responsibility. This is my integrity. This is my moral compass. And while I'm in line with my moral compass, while I'm in line with my integrity, while I'm in line with my values, when I'm walking my talk, when I promise something to somebody else, or more importantly, to myself, I fucking deliver. And while I'm doing that, what you do cannot be my responsibility. What I do is my responsibility. What you do is not. How you react to me, how you respond to me, how you throw curveballs in my face, whether I'm talking about another person or about the universe, not my responsibility. How I choose to rock up, how I choose to react, and how I choose to respond, more importantly, because reaction for me is like a knee-jerk reaction, right? It's like a fuck you. Whereas response is much more from a space of, well, hang on, who do I want to be in the wake of this? Can I change this? No. But who do I want to be? I always have power in that. And so I trust that that has answered both parts of those questions. How do you rock up and take responsibility? You take full fucking responsibility. You take responsibility for your actions and your non-actions. You don't take responsibility for other people's actions. You don't take responsibility for other people's reactions or responses in any way, shape, or form. But you fully have to, every fucking time, take responsibility for how you react or how you respond to any situation, whether it's negative or positive. Because I have reacted to people in the past, of course I have, and it hasn't worked out, and I've had to take responsibility for that. And I have reacted by putting my head in the sand and procrastinating and not taking the action, and then, funnily enough, didn't get the result I was after. I have to take responsibility for that. I also take responsibility for the great shit that I do. I get to take the responsibility for the awesome stuff that I do. And the more awesome stuff that I do, and the more I sit in line with my values and my integrity and my promises to myself, and therefore to the community that I serve, that's fucking awesome. So I get to go to bed tonight probably an hour later than I really wanted to, but I get to do it with full integrity and knowing that I rocked up and gave the best of myself, not just to you guys, but more importantly to me. And if I am in alignment with me, then I can't go wrong with anyone else. And it doesn't matter necessarily whether or not that is received right or wrong or the way I intended it to be. I am doing all right by me. You have to be the most important person in your life, and you have to be living by your own morals and your own standards. And if you don't know what your moral code is, you need to start looking at what it is that makes you happy, what values make you feel good. So for me, my value is integrity, and my value is walking my talk, and my value is being unashamedly human and being really transparent and really open. And therefore, I'm telling you that I'm tired and I'm having a glass of wine, and, you know, my face should be in a pillow, but my time management today was fucking shit, and I have to take responsibility for that. I can't be like, oh my God, I've got to do it live. Ugh. No, I take responsibility for the fact that I could have done this live at 4 o'clock this afternoon, but I didn't, because my time management today was off shit. Like, that's it. I'm not going to blame myself or berate myself for it. It's just what it is. All right, do better next time. Whatever. So short, sharp and brief. I was saying short, sharp and brief, but that was a full 20 minutes of me ranting and potentially waffling. So I trust that that has answered the question. How do you take responsibility? You don't take on responsibility for anyone else. You just take on responsibility for you and how you react or respond to certain situations. How do you live by your moral compass? You get really fucking clear on what your values are. When I talk about a value, it's like, what state do you want to feel in most of the time? And one of my values is connection. My highest value is connection, fun, love, and generosity. And I expect that back from other people. And so I'm really careful about the people that I associate myself with, because they need to be in line with my values. And when that doesn't happen, when that hits the shit, or, you know, that again is not my responsibility for other people's actions. My responsibility is, well, do I still rock up with love and generosity and connection and fun? And if I can still be rocking up with those things, then my moral compass is on point. I'm not responsible for you, I'm responsible for me. All the time, every time. Through the good and the bad. I trust that has helped. I'm going to sign it off now. I hope that everybody is having a lovely evening. Not many people are online with me this evening. I'm not surprised, because most people are in bed. as I should be too. All right, lovely people. Thank you ever so much for joining me. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, Josie. Thank you, Katie, for joining me this evening. I see there are some other people online who potentially just haven't necessarily let themselves be seen, but that's cool as well. I trust this has helped. Please put in your feedback. Please tag a mate that needs to hear it. Oh, night, Mwah. For those of you who are wondering, I am going to be speaking in Melbourne tomorrow evening at an event for Valentine's Day. It's technically for single women. If you want a little bit more information, I think there are like 3 tickets left or something. So if you want one of them, let me know, and I will make sure that your name is on the door. Other than that, what is happening in my world is I am going to be in Hobart on the 3rd of March. I will put the link in the comments box below. I will be in Adelaide. Yay! That's the other thing I have to do before I go to bed, because I promised myself I would do it, and I live by my morals and by my integrity. So I'm going to be launching sorry, I don't know what just happened there. But apparently we're back in the 80s. Bananarama, anyone remember them? So I'm going to be launching Adelaide this evening, or potentially first thing tomorrow morning if I don't get my arse in gear. So I'm going to be in Adelaide on the 17th of March, and I am going to be in Melbourne on the 21st, which is a Wednesday evening. All of those links I'll pop in the comments box below. I'm going to be in Sydney on the 7th of April. I'm still trying to lock down a venue. Why is it so hard to lock down a venue in Sydney? Ask a better question, Emily. Why is it so easy to lock down a venue in Sydney? I'm going to be doing that tomorrow, come hell or high water. All right, thanks ever so much for, yay, Hobart! Hobart's like off chops. I'm so excited about it. All right, I will see you all very soon. I trust that that wasn't too waffly, and if it was, let me know, because I'm happy to do it again a bit more concisely and maybe under 20 minutes. All right, I will see you all very soon.